Hello, welcome back. Another episode of GM Facepalm. So, today, Book 5, The Tide of Honor, from Jade Regent's Adventure Path. My group is right at the end of this. We're on the threshold to Book 6, The Empty Throne. So, I have enough time in this, enough of it experienced with me and my group, so I can talk about this in length, in detail, to give you a insight into Tide of Honor, if you happen to be following the rest of the series of Jade Regent videos that I have been doing. So, let's get right into it. Tide of Honor. I talked about Book 4, how it's a very immersive culture shock. A culture slap. Well, Book 5 is riddled with lots of different quests. It's broken up quite a bit. And of course, people like to use these terms. It has a very sandboxy nature. You can take different paths. You can choose which way you want to go. You even decide to turn around and go somewhere else or revisit another area once or twice, and with different results. A wide, huge map of Minkai, and you get to travel, picking out your own route if you wish, with the random encounters that are provided. I believe in this book, or Book 6, there's a huge chart of different types of encounters for aquatic, for forest, for mountains, plains. I would have liked to see more monsters in there, choices, particularly upon what environment you choose, but there are quite a few, and you can undoubtedly add some of those in there from Bestiary 4, perhaps. But there's a lot of Bestiary 3 introductions, which is nice. So, let's get into this. Tide of Honor. Your group starts around 12th level, and by the time they are done, should be about 13th level. So not much of a jump there, but they could be 14th maybe, depending on how many encounters they have. But enough of that. Let's go right into part 1, where they enter Minkai, and they meet a group of Ronin, who they aid. But in doing so, to have them join your cause, to prove that you are the scions of the Amaterasu line, that there is a lost heir, a princess, there to claim the Jade throne. Of course, you can show them the seal and everything else, but as usual, a task must be completed. We defeat some bandits from the pillaging areas. So again, we're dealing more with like the grasslands, the plains. There's a feel of samurai, horse lords, and such. Lots of different villages and backwater areas. You can really impress upon the group the feel of it. And let me just go over some notes here. Yeah. You are in the northern frontier. There's a lot of interest in Ronin that you meet up with. Some great stories. A lot of potential allies that you can make. So this is the part where the rebellion really builds up, where you're gathering these unique groups, which form, the economy and such of Minkai, the ninja clans, to the masterless Ronin, to merchants and nobles and such that are tired of the downtrodden finances, the lack of trade that's been pressed upon the region due to the Jade Regent, and they want to break free of those binding chains of servitude and such. So you meet up with them, and you help out these Ronin amid the Osagen grasslands, these plains. Lots of different encounters here. But what's really nice is that you get to invade a hidden fortress amongst these mountains. The Kyonin Mountains, I believe they are. And take it away from the bandits, slay what's there. There's a lot of different ways to get in there, which I thought was nice. There's a really great backstory to that plot of land, its history and such. And you can use that hidden fortress as your base of operations. This is where you can go to recruit. The map is beautifully detailed. It's vast, it's huge, wide expanse. Really get a great feel for it. The immersion is really there. You can really renovate this, make it your own. You can introduce some of those mass combat rules if you want, which will be introduced later in Book 6, but you can do a lot of different things, particularly with the Ultimate Campaign book or something like that. So, but what's interesting is there are these questions put before you from the Ronin to determine your measure of honor, and there's many different types of ways that you can answer it with different results, which I thought was good. There's more of that role-playing element to it. So I'm glad they put that in there, because the GM has the opportunity to tell a story. Sort of a folk tale with a sort of measure of what honor is, and the different forms of it, and how you interpret it, and what is the ultimate type, sort of encompassing all the embodiments of it. So there could be a good answer, but there are better answers, and even a great answer to it, which kind of leads to like the whole, there's always something to be learned from the story. But yeah, enough of that babble. But yeah, there's a lot of rooms in here, lots of different factions that you can fight. I thought it was really cool. Once you're done with that, the Ronin tell you of different occupying areas in the northern Minkai area that you can go to try and gain forces for your upcoming battle in the southern areas of Minkai, particularly Kasai, the capital of Minkai, where the Jade Regent sits. But once you get down to the hidden fortress, the Rising Tide builds, where you can go to these ninja clans, prominent groups, where you can either pay them off to have them remain neutral in the conflicts to come, or you can give some measure of aid, particularly if you try to hire them. So there's more of that element there. There's also the geisha, those who support merchants, increase the economy. They have the ear of many the Empire's merchants and nobility. So you can go to this entertainment district in another port city. But of course with that, there always comes some sort of a quest. You can do something for them, and they'll do something for you. So, And what's nice is that you can run this any way you want. You don't have to do it all within the list. You can pick different ones if you want, make up your own. And for those of you that hate the caravan combat, the caravan rules, once you established your fortress, your base of operations, the caravan can finally retire, at least for now. And all the way through Book 6, I would say, as well, because the caravan would stand out. Some foreigners with a Varsian caravan trying to rally supporters. Of course, your party would be like, yeah, we want them to know we're here so we can kick everyone's ass. Well, you should press upon them the overwhelming forces that would oppose them. Try to instill that wariness, that tactical defense, where there are, small pockets of armies that patrol the main roads and such. You may have to even discipline them when they try to challenge that. So that will require some creativity on your part. Which you could also use the mass combat rules. That's one example where they are one particular unit. And then, of course, maybe they have like a bunch of former farmers and such that are being trained as Ronin or samurai, and perhaps now they have a master, which would be Amieko. Maybe against, 4 or 5 different units of the mass combat rules, and that should give them quite a beating where they would have to retreat and then learn their lesson and, abandon the caravan at the hidden fortress and then proceed on horseback or by foot, traveling the different provinces in the north. But anyway, when you go to the geisha, once you complete the quest defeating this evil shadow conjurer, this mage that rules a small island, you rescue the geisha, and the geisha is a very well created, very great storyline to another introduction to a NPC. Whether you want to have them as a predominant NPC amidst the caravan's NPCs, or if you really don't want to do that, you can just have them be within the background, another supporter, and one who establishes communication with most of the other nobles and merchants, so perhaps your go-to person for getting most of the news that happens as you progress through the story. Now, that's one part. I explained 2 parts there. The Ronin that you rally, gain a fortress, and then, of course, rescuing this geisha, and gaining the geishas as a way to spread news, a way to collect information, how to whisper in those ears, to either turn them neutral in the upcoming conflict or to rally them to your banner. And of course you talk to the ninja clans, and of course your party might be like, yeah, let's just wipe out the ninjas. Well, that's not what it's about. It's more like maintaining some sort of support or eventual support, trying to stay their hand. But either way, you learn that there's a contract put out on you from the Jade Regent by a very famous ninja, one with uncanny skill, who even kills his own. The story on him is really, really nice. The item that you get from him, this coin, really, really cool. Really, if you have a skill monkey, this would be a very good object. You could also introduce a particularly nasty side quest whether you want to have it resolved here, but I would suggest having it resolved in Book 6. This coin is a minor artifact, and each time a new owner comes into possession of this coin, a new symbol, ideogram, appears on the coin. That corresponds to one of the different skills, such as acrobatics, climb, disguise, escape artist, perception, and stealth. And it grants particular abilities each time it goes to a new owner with a new symbol that appears on the coin. But in a way, it's kind of a curse, because it looks to always find a new owner, because it wants to gain another symbol. Well, of course, there's only so much room on that coin, and once there's no more room, something drastic has happened, something cataclysmic. And of course, this thing also turns your alignment further and further and further and further and further towards the evil side. Really, really, really awesome. But when someone is felled, the coin goes to a new owner, sometimes even vanishing until it can find a new owner. Let me see what happens here. Yeah, but once all the symbols appear, some sort of great tragedy in the world comes. And let me see if I can get some more information on that real quick here, because I have something planned for this. See if I can get that information here. Where are you? Okay. Well, anyway, it's left up to you as far as what happens. So, what I suggest is, let me get this one. Okay. Obscure legends claim that when the 8th power of the shinobi Fushonzen is permanently unlocked, a major disaster will strike the world. Okay, here we go. Sorry for the delay on this. What I'm going to introduce, somehow, if this character has this coin or whatever, at some point they're going to lose it. I'll see to that till it gets the 8th symbol to where a disaster strikes the world. And that disaster is going to be a kaiju. Magaru from Bestiary 4. Otherwise, similar to Godzilla. Yes, Godzilla. Ah! So, I'm going to introduce that in Book 6. How the hell am I going to do it? It's a CR28. It's massive. It's fantastic. It's horrifying. It's grotesque. What the fuck am I thinking? Well, that's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm thinking crazy. Because this is interesting. This is exciting. And, they even suggest something like this in Book 6. Let me pull that up once more. Idle pause. We can't get on with the rest of the program here. Another option, the kaiju. Yes, of course, irritation is found amidst the GM. The players alike cringe. All these different suggestions and options to alter the AP. So let me get to the continuing campaign as suggested in Book 6, which I think is really, really interest in all these different things I'm going to try. Of course, I can't try too much because I got one player that just wants to be done with it. So I got kind of a thin circle to skate around. So here we go. Come on. Continuing the campaign. What I like is... Where are you? Where are you? There's a lot of great things in here. As far as continuing the campaign. Gives you a lot of different things that you can try. Where are you? Okay. So what it talks about, when you finally dispose of the Jade Regent, you claim the throne. The scions are enriched. Their elevation rises. And there's lots of different tasks at hand to try and rebuild Minkai, since it's in such a low economic state, on the fringes of breaking apart because of the decline it's been in, due to the Oni's masterful plan of being in such a state of distress, with so much corruption infiltrated into all levels of society, that then the golden mandates could be whatever, and they can finally turn this into the other land not too far away from them, Chun-Yi, that's been dominated by Oni. So of course Onis have plans to turn this into the same land. So when you acquire the seat, there's a lot of economic depression, perhaps some displaced people due to the rebellion, but also a food crisis. Yes, food crisis. So a kaiju could feed the populace for perhaps months or whatever. This would be your way, your solution to feeding the country with enormous sushi monster. Yes, Magaru, kaiju. Have Godzilla rise from the damn sea and have him start to attack along the coast, and your group is called in to dispose of it. Take care of the threat. It's a CR-28. How the hell am I going to do that? More facepalm. No. When they get the Jade Throne, why not give them some tiers, some mythic tiers? Maybe these continued adventures after Book 6 are mythic trials to where they gain tier 2, or 3, or 4, or 5. So, maybe enough time passes along in the story, whether it be a year or a few months or whatever, and, you can have the tiers build up by then, to where, maybe they'll be around level 17, level 18, and maybe with some mythic on there. It would definitely be a very good, very hard, ultimate challenge. And I come from a background of having my group face the Sandpoint Devil in Book 1, towards the end. Right around Book 1, Book 2. So the threshold of that, the mid-ground point, as they are about to leave the Varsian lands and into the Ulfin lands, the north. They encountered the Sandpoint Devil. So that was a very challenging, very brutal, with a narrow margin of victory. And I think introducing the kaiju here would be another exceptional reminder of the Sandpoint Devil battle. Another achievement or milestone to say that they killed Godzilla. So I think that'd be cool. So yeah, enough babbling on that. Let's get back to book 5. So here we go. So that's just my opinion for if you were to navigate that avenue of interest in discovering the 8th symbol on that coin. But the fight with the ninja is interesting. You can have him appear multiple times in different disguises. Maybe he's even amid the caravan. A very enriching story. Maybe a very deep friendship could be felt by this person. And of course, you rip that connection away. Tattered remains of that friendship upon the reveal of the contract ninja ordered to kill you, and he's got some really great special abilities. My group's a little bit powerful, a little bit more strategic in their fights. So I'm going to, or I did anyway, add the agile template, mythic template to him so that he can get the dual or double initiative and have the increased speed and such. So feel free, if your party is coming upon some of these really, really legendary people, or at least the way it's brought into the AP, as the way it's described, I would use mythic templates like the agile and such. Done that a few times. I even created a couple with actual mythic ranks to really punish the party, but at the same time greatly reward them through the experience of that battle and the treasures that were laid before them. So, interesting fight with the ninja. You can introduce that ninja anytime you want, which is also another fantastic point. This is very, very malleable. There we go. You can really bend and fold this really great to how you want it. You can set when you can determine when set pieces happen. That's what this whole book is about. Book 5. These different varying things. So I think the last part of this is taking out one of the top generals of the Jade Regent, a daimyo, governor of one of the northern cities of Minkai. If you take him out, then you can rally a huge amount of supporters, many samurai, even many other groups of ronin who can now find a master, and his brother the brother of the daimyo would inherit his title and rule much better than his eldest brother did, with a lot of honor, without any sort of cruel reign, as seen upon with this other guy, Sakakabe. So that's kind of like the ultimate end to this book, and I plan to introduce the ninja assassin right after they defeat the daimyo. So that way they're shitty GM. He's letting the players use most of their resources, exhaust their supply of magics and such, to where then they have to have the challenge of this ninja assassin. But why not? The ninja is looking for the ultimate way to take them out, trying to find them at their most weakest, perhaps. Even hearing of how great their exploits are, he would definitely want to take them very seriously. So I would suggest hitting them up. The ninja could strike multiple times throughout this AP too, always eluding them and such. That would be fantastic if you could do that. There's just so much stuff going on with this. I really didn't have time to kind of throw him in there, because then, of course, the party would be like, oh, we have to find him now. We have to scry him and teleport, and yeah, so this is going to be more of a kick in the teeth right at the end, which I'll be running this week. The very end of this will be run Saturday. So, what I really liked about this is a lot of the Ronin that you get to meet. Masterless people who have tried to perform honor, but in their own ways, in their own interpretations of that honor. And you find a lot of Ronin. And I really like the 9 pawns that are featured in this. It reminds me a lot of another movie. A more recent movie. Can't remember the name, but yeah. Anyway, some great Oni in this book. That base of operations that you get, that hidden fortress. If the party ever goes back there to regroup or whatever, they have a thing in here where the Oni will attack them, so I would set that up to where whenever they return, have that encounter go. But this one in the book is set up so that at the very end, when they take care of all the other quests, then they would go back. It's assuming that you would go back to your headquarters, your base of operations, and then that's when the battle with some Oni that have tracked you down would take place. I say let that run whenever they get back to that place again, after concluding one of their missions. I wouldn't wait till they're all concluded. So, but as part of those different missions that you have to complete to gather people to your banner, I would definitely throw in don't tell me I forgot that damn name already. Come on. My brain just scattered now. As evident in the babble. Alright, the Ruby Phoenix Tournament. I would definitely introduce that as a side quest. Except I would have it as your NPCs do it. My game in Jade Regent has been more about how do you make the party concerned about the NPCs? Because a lot of people just don't give a fuck. How do you make them rooted into the story? How do you get those players to care about them? Have them play the NPCs. PC NPC. What? Yes, have them play that and run that damn tournament. If you want like a Mortal Kombat style module, the Ruby Phoenix Tournament is definitely a plus. That's definitely what you want to look for. Maybe more of that Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, the Quest. It's a lot like that. So there's some really great encounters there. Lots of different trials. Yeah. So that's just my suggestions on this. Is there anything else I can talk about? The ninja's fantastic. There's a lot of information you gotta read up on these bad guys here. There's lots of different tactics that they employ, a lot of different abilities that they use, so this will definitely be challenging for GMs trying to run this. More so for me because I had the map tool at all, so put it onto a virtual tabletop. But yeah, that's all I got. Book 5 is really good about talking about Minkai. In the back of the book, there's a lot of different places and lands and features that you really get to talk about. And the random encounters in Minkai are in here, actually. So you could even use this encounter table when you go into Book 6 as well. And not see anything else. But yeah, if you have any questions on this, let me know. If you feel like you want to share your stories of Book 5, or just Jade Regent, hit me up. But, yeah. This book 5 is pretty much done for me. So, see you guys later.